What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Universal Mastery. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new, what I do here is I break down the occult sciences and I break them down to a very practical level so that you can use them and apply them in your day-to-day life and get real results with the things that I am speaking about and teaching simply by applying your observation and awareness, okay? Without further ado, let me give you a little bit of clarity on who you're getting this information from, which obviously is very important. My name is Jeremiah Schwartz. I am a professional occultist. I am fully initiated in the entire Kabbalistic tree. I'm studied when it comes to the 22 major arcana of the tarot. And I'm also studied when it comes to, as you can see right here, planetary energies associated with astrology. Okay? So, what is the topic of our today's video? Well, I thought that this would be a very fitting topic because of the date that it is right now. For those of you that don't know, the season 2 of The Witcher just came out on Netflix. And obviously, if anyone's been paying attention to my YouTube channel, or if you just are aware of the occult sciences in general, you know that there is almost nothing that you will find in mainstream production. Great avenue is Netflix, Hulu, your movie theaters, TV even, that is utilizing the occult sciences in this case, Netflix show. Okay, so what I'm going to do basically, to keep it simple, and this truly is going to be a simple video, but it is going to open your mind to some things that you may have potentially didn't know. And I'm also going to correspond it to some of the previous teachings that I've been talking about on my YouTube channel. Okay, so we are going to specifically be going into The Witcher. I'm going to be talking about The Witcher, what this Witcher series represents in a generalized nutshell. I'm going to be going into depth on what The Witcher actually is, and I'm even going to connect it to real life occultism, because obviously The Witcher is an occultist. He is a witch, okay? And there's a lot of occult symbolism within this specific TV series, very similar to Game of Thrones, okay? So long story short, if you want to know about The Witcher and its connections to the occult and how it actually shows up in the real world with the occult, this is your video, so stay tuned. Okay, so let's jump out the gate with a bomb, okay? So this is going to be something that I picked up on very quickly, intuitively, when I saw The Witcher. And I want to be transparent. There are 2 seasons of The Witcher that are out right now. The first season, around the time when I watched that, I was not as aware of the occult sciences and its mainstream influence as I am this time approaching the second season, okay? So at the time, I wasn't able to make this connection, but now, having watched the first couple episodes, I can see some very clear connections that are within The Witcher. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is, if anyone has not yet seen the TV series The Witcher, I highly recommend you go ahead and you watch the series. Okay, it is a very informative TV show that will show you a lot of real life occult truths that are embedded within the show. But yes, the first thing that I wanted to say about The Witcher is The Witcher is actually a watcher. Okay, so when it comes to biblical text of the Nephilim and the Watchers, The Witcher is actually supposed to be a watcher, okay? And obviously, for those of you that know about The Witcher in this TV series, or the Witchers in general, is they are ruthless. Basically, exactly what they are is ruthless occult warriors who are part dark energy, who are part monsters. Okay? And if any of you have been studying my YouTube channel, obviously, me being someone who is in the occult field and speaks about it from a very real and true perspective, I've told all of you and anyone who watches my channel, obviously, if you're new, you won't know about this, but for people that have been watching my YouTube channel, I've said there are 3 main keys to be a successful and powerful occultist. And those 3 keys is 1, impeccability. The second one is warrior spirit. And the third one is ruthless. You have to be ruthless. You have to do whatever it takes to get to your highest evolutionary potential. And that means you have to let go or die to, in your own being, whatever attachments that you may have that could prevent you from getting to your highest potential. Okay? So obviously, when you look at the Witcher, which is a watcher, this is a ruthless man who is part dark energy. He is literally part vampire. If you actually pay attention, he's got 2 vampire teeth. So there is a vampiric correlation right there as well. And this is also something that I've been talking about on my YouTube channel, being one of the main services that I offer on my Patreon, tier 4, which is called the Vampire Service. So yes, this is a ruthless male who is part dark energy being. Basically, that what he's done, being a watcher. And if you are a watcher, I am a watcher. I'm a real life watcher. What you've done is you've transformed your soul to absorb all the dark energies. You could say the source of the dark energies that are being used on our planet today. So in regards to a biblical perspective, you have angelic forces and you have demonic forces. What a watcher does on our planet is somebody who has highly advanced awareness that has consciously incarnated into physical form for a purpose, a reason. And this highly intelligent being the watcher or the Nephilim, incarnates into the perfect body that it finds suitable to carry out this purpose. Now, the watcher is aware of the occult on our planet, which the word occult translates to hidden. But because the watcher is already an interdimensional, extraterrestrial, highly advanced intelligence, the occult to the watcher is unconscious, subconscious, and very intuitive, and even very close to conscious. So people that are real life watchers, or in this case, the TV show The Witcher, they are people that are predestined to be masters of the spirit realm on our planet. And if you have any sort of awareness, you should be able to sense that the most primary forces that are being utilized on our planet today to control the multiverse are going to be demonic forces. They're going to be dark energies, okay, being run as programs and used for specific mechanical reasons to control consciousness. Not only control consciousness, but to control consciousness to harvest it. So that is literally what a watcher is. A watcher is a person who absorbs all of these dark matter energies, becomes one himself or herself, and then can utilize these same dark energies on whoever is the enemy of the watcher. Okay. Now the proper watcher, and this goes for anyone that is a true Nephilim or a true watcher on our planet today, which there are people out there. The true watcher has a common enemy, and the enemy we can look at in a microcosmic scale as the Yaldabaoth, okay, which is a you could think of as an extraterrestrial force that likes to control consciousness on our planet today. And not only just control consciousness, but as I mentioned earlier, harvest human potential. So the true watchers on our planet today, although they are deemed as demonic and evil in biblical religious text, well, of course that would happen because uh, this force of Yaldabaoth is utilizing religion and even mythology to create its inverted multiverse. So truly, the Watchers are enemies of this extraterrestrial, highly intelligent, interdimensional force that we can call right now the Yaldabaoth, the Demiurge. And we come to this planet to increase our power in human vessels, simultaneously destroying the, you could say, the creation of the Yaldabaoth. So how does this manifest in The Witcher? Okay, well, The Witcher, as we've just translated, is a watcher. So what The Witcher does is he is highly advanced in regards to the occult sciences, occult initiation. And if anyone wants to do their own research, you can look up the definition of The Witcher, or you can look up on Safari or Google exactly what a Witcher is, and you will see what it tells you is that a Witcher is basically a highly trained, initiated uh, witch, okay, occultist, that's not only just trained in the arts of the occult, the hidden sciences, but trained in the arts of warriorship as well. So the Witcher, being a watcher, is this being that is highly initiated. And to be highly initiated, if you study my channel, that requires you to travel into the Klipothic realm, which is the underworld, for those of you that don't know what that means. And in the underworld is where you gain the power from the spirits, the demons of the underworld. And the way you gain their power is by vampirizing their energy. You basically enter into their underworld dimension and you come face to face with these forces, which actually manifest in your real life through other people. Other people will get possessed by these forces, and then you will find yourself in direct communication with them. And you have to essentially embrace them. And if they try to attack you psychically or whatever the case is, even physically, you use your occult awareness and utilize psychic warfare on them. And if you use psychic warfare on a Klipothic force that appears in your real life as you're going through the Klipothic initiations, you essentially are destroying the force that is trying to attack you and gaining its power. So I know this can be a little bit hard to understand for someone that's never heard this before, but it is literally the same concept that you will see in different TV shows and different movies that have the concept. I'll give you one. You have Mortal Kombat, where people have the tattoo of the black dragon, which represents the person being chosen. Okay. Well, if you are not a chosen and you kill someone that has the mark of the chosen, the black dragon tattoo, then that tattoo leaves the body of the chosen and goes into the person who is not the chosen, but then becomes the chosen. And this is not the only movie where they show this energetic concept take place. There are some other TV shows, TV series, and movies that also show it, but this was a very easy to understand example with the one that I just shared. But this is a real energetic occult science that does take place, and this is how you become powerful in the occult field in general. And this is what watchers naturally understand intuitively, because it's basically ingrained in their being. Because being a watcher, being a Nephilim, you are already an advanced soul. You're already an advanced soul and spirit that is coming to incarnate at will with the already prepackaged information of higher level intelligence embedded within that soul and within the spirit. So that is literally what a watcher is. And the entire TV series of The Witcher is a man who is a watcher, who is a monster. He is part demon, he is part demonic, and he destroys other monsters. And he is an apex predator. Okay, this is literally what the entire concept is about. This is exactly what I've been talking about on my YouTube channel. For anyone that really listens and studies from my teachings, this is a key that is being shown in The Witcher of how to be a powerful occultist. You have to embrace the dark arts, and you have to utilize the dark arts, psychic warfare, on quote unquote monsters, other monsters, which appears as initiatory figures that oftentimes will try to prevent you from moving forward on your evolutionary initiatory journey. And also, you have to utilize psychic warfare and the dark arts on anything that is Yaldabaoth in nature, which means anything that is possessed and fully influenced by chaos and has given themselves up over to chaos and has reached the point of no return, not realizing that they're here to evolve as a soul. So everything that is Yaldabaoth in nature, remember, Yaldabaoth is a chaos entity that has governance over the planet Earth. I should say had governance over the planet Earth for the past 600 years. But because of this, there is mass chaos being spread on our planet because people are being possessed and influenced by this chaotic entity that we call Yaldabaoth, which really, as I've mentioned in other YouTube videos I have, is an extraterrestrial, interdimensional, highly advanced species that exists out there somewhere in the universe, taking advantage of humans on our planet. So you have to become the apex predator. You have to become like a watcher, okay? Like the Witcher. And you have to transform your soul within the underworld. In Kabbalah, we call it the Klipothic realm. This is a very practical way to enter into the underworld using Kabbalah. And you initiate through the Klipoth, transforming your soul, absorbing the energies from those dark energies, from those Klipothic forces as you go through. And as you are absorbing their energies, you are also gaining wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from them as well. Because as you go into the underworld with the intention of becoming the apex predator, which really means becoming the source, because in your own birthright, whoever's listening to this, you are the source and you have that seed within you. And the more you recognize that source seed, the more you are the controller of everything, because your primary focus is on evolution and your primary focus is on a state of silence so that you can listen to your intuition. You don't get caught up in the mundane distractions that most people on our planet are constantly getting caught up in. So once again, if you are aware of that source seed within yourself, you have the power and the potential to become the source on our planet. You become what I like to call a source being. I call it also source vampire, okay? Because as you become an apex predator, then you use your power, the dark arts, black occult sciences on other chaotic beings that present themselves as your opposition, as your enemies. And as you destroy these other dark energies that are your opposition, you are gaining power from them as you destroy them from the source itself, from cosmic law. So what I'm saying is cosmic law will literally gift you as you use psychic sciences, psychic warfare on other possessed Yaldabaoth chaos energies. So that is literally, so I know I kind of went on a little bit of a lecture there, but I think I definitely shared some valuable information. But primarily, this is what you can easily see within The Witcher. Okay, he is an apex predator. He is, and he's a master with the occult sciences. He gets, he is a dark guy. His eyes get completely black when he's in his most powerful state, and he destroys other monsters. And this is what makes him so powerful. And this is a real energetic silence, energetic science. But this is what's embedded within The Witcher that is not true. This is what's embedded within the TV show, because obviously, who's funding the TV show? You have the quote unquote, the Illuminatis that are trying to utilize these TV shows and these mainstream medias for their own purposes. So basically, they create these TV shows as rituals. And I've already mentioned the names of the real top of the pyramid. Not the top of the pyramid anymore, but they still think they're the top of the pyramid to some degree. Not really, but we have the royal family and the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the people that literally own the banking systems of the West. These are people that are aware of the occult sciences, primarily in connection with Kabbalah, because they come from a Jewish bloodline. I'm Jewish bloodline as well. Maybe this is one of the reasons why I'm so advanced in regards to Kabbalah. But this is it. And you see the same pattern take place with John D. and Edward Kelly, who were the occultists 600 years ago, working for Queen Elizabeth. And then once Queen Elizabeth had them manifest what she wanted, she basically kicked them to the curb. And then you see in the show, The Witcher, who is a watcher, he's working basically for the royal family as well. So they're just creating a pattern within the TV series. And this is supposed to be ritualistic and strengthen this pattern. So basically what that TV show is programmed in trying to do is get people like me, who are real watchers, who are real Nephilim, real masters of the occult and of the underworld, to work for the royal family. But obviously that's not happening because I'm a real watcher and I'm aware of what's going on. And I would never do that, not even if I was offered millions and millions of dollars. Okay. So that's what you see. That's what The Watcher is based on. So other than that, I'm gonna wrap it up here. This isn't meant to be a long video, but I just thought I would share this because The Witcher just came out, and these are some clear signs of some highly important occult truths that are embedded within this TV show. So definitely pay attention to it. So yeah, there's obviously a lot of other, tons of other occult symbolism within The Witcher. I'm not going into that now because I don't feel like covering that right now. But maybe in some future point, I might go into more depth with The Witcher and all of its little subtle meanings and what it means, and different episodes and how it all comes together. Maybe I'll do that. I'm not 100% sure yet, but right now this is generally some of the most important stuff you need to know about this TV show. And there you go. Now you see there is obvious occult symbolism that is based in reality being used in a TV show if you aren't already aware of these things in general. Okay? So other than that, once again, I'm going to wrap it up here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you go right down there and you hit the thumbs up. Okay, I would really appreciate that. Also, come down here, hit that notification bell because I post videos as often as I can. And with content like this, you definitely do not want to miss out. And then come down here and hit that subscribe button because I post videos as often as I can. And if you watch my videos on my YouTube channel and you're enjoying it and you're not yet subscribed, then that is definitely something you need to do. Okay, so definitely make sure you've done that. Okay. And the first thing that I would like to take your awareness to is my YouTube description. If you go there and then you scroll down, you are going to see a link towards the bottom bit that says private Facebook group. If you click that link, it'll eventually take you to my private Facebook group where I will always let people know when I am going live on YouTube to my best ability. Not every time do I always do that, but to the best ability, I will give a heads up of when I'm going live on YouTube. And it's also a community of people that are like-minded. So if you want to get yourself into a community of other people that may have similar perspectives as you do, that are into the occult sciences, definitely check out the private group on Facebook and I will add you in. Okay. Now, the next thing I'd like to say is if you have any family, friends, or even social media platforms that are interested in this type of information or interested in this type of content, please, by all means, feel free to share this link to them. You have my full permission. Okay. Let's spread this content like a wildfire. Okay. Now, this is the most important thing that I'd like to take your awareness to. Look into the very first link at the very top of my YouTube description. This is going to take you to where it says Patreon. Okay, now obviously right there on that link, it takes you to my Patreon. And on my Patreon, I have exclusive content that is not on my YouTube channel for many different reasons. Okay, this content ranges from live streams. The content ranges from advanced information on Kabbalah, covering all of the tree, being the top and the bottom. It gives you blog posts that goes into really deep occult principles and important things to understand to have success in the occult field. It ranges at tier 3 and up with an entire magic training course that I demonstrate, literally taking you from the very beginning to the end of developing a very foundational level of power, which is great if you are a beginner occultist, but is also great if you are intermediate or advanced as well. We go through literally necromancy, angel magic, demon magic, and then going into casting a low magic spell. And I also give you all the information of all the tools you need to utilize the practice of invocation and harnessing the energy, the psychic energies from these forces and from these spirits. Very valuable tier 3 entire magic training course. Okay. Then for tier 4 is an actual service that I perform on the top tier participants. On the new top tier participants on the 29th of every month that has a 29th, which is every month except one. Okay. And I will just choose a different day for that month. But yeah, long story short, this is a service that I utilize my knowledge and power to perform a very advanced ritual on the participants of that service that completely changes the flow of energy in the participant's energy field. So what I do is I change it rather from being universe A dominant, which means pushing energy out, sending it out to chaos in your environment, however that comes about. I change the flow to be more universe B dominant, which means you pull energy inwards. Okay, so you can pull in energy from chaos around you, which then is going to, over time, increase your psychic power and increase your evolutionary potential. Okay, it's also going to eliminate the chaos in your own energy body, which is definitely very valuable for utilizing occult practices and getting real results with them. You have to get rid of your own chaos to be able to manifest properly. Okay. And this is a service that I perform for top tier 4 members, and that's why it's called the Vampire Service. Very powerful service. It is my most popular tier on the Patreon, and that is for many different reasons. So I'm going to leave it there. If you are interested in anything that I just mentioned, definitely look into the Patreon link, first link in the description. Okay. And I would also like to give a special shout out to all of the Patreon members in general. I appreciate all of you. Okay. Now, I would like to draw your awareness to the second link in my YouTube description. On my second link, you are going to see it says square up appointments, and then nearby in parentheses it says book now. There you can literally book your own tarot card reading with me. And what I can do, which I don't know anyone else that can do this, is I can pinpoint exactly where your spirit is located on your own evolutionary journey as we speak. And the reason why I'm able to do this is because I am well versed in the studies of Kabbalah, so I can see where you are in regards to the Kabbalistic tree. And the Kabbalistic tree, for those of you that don't know, is basically a reflection of the multiverse, a reflection of the matrix. So I can pinpoint where your spirit is in that Kabbalistic tree and then tell you where you're headed in your near and long-term future, as well as give you information or potentially advice on what to expect moving into your future. Okay? So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely look into booking a tarot card reading with me at the second link below. Okay? Now, the third thing that I would like to take your awareness to is the third link in my YouTube description. And there, you can become a YouTube member. So whenever I do my live streams, your name is going to appear as green, and I will always give you a special shout out whenever I see you in the live streams. Now, also, whenever you are a YouTube member, every single month that you are one, you have access to leaving a free question or statement on my live streams that appears in the exact same format as a super chat. And what I do for the super chats and for the special questions from the YouTube members is I will always guaranteed answer them on the live streams, and I will answer them in the most depth. So that's also something you have access to. And most importantly, you will gain access to the Psychic Warfare program that is designed around an emoji system that I created myself. I'm probably the only person on YouTube that has a system like this running. And it is designed to be able to use psychic warfare, tapping into the multiverse, to be the most simple form of psychic warfare. Literally, it takes, once you get used to it, 10 seconds to type out the certain configuration to use psychic warfare on a target, your enemies, and it is extremely simple using emojis that I've created that are in correspondence with my tarot card deck. Okay, so if you want to educate yourself a little bit more on how this psychic warfare emoji system works, I have an entire YouTube video that is dedicated to doing exactly that for you. So the YouTube video is going to be called, in parentheses, members only, and it's followed by Psychic Warfare Program. So if you go to my YouTube videos and you just scroll down through my channel, you will find that video on there. You will not miss it. That's where you can educate yourself, okay? So once again, to become a YouTube member, it's only at the third link below, okay? Now, other than that, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm going to wrap it up. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day or night wherever you are, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.